Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, welcome back to me. I'm Jumriani, the 5th semester of English department. Okay, today I would like to make a video again. And this video, the topic from this video is in book teaching pronunciation, based on I read in chapter 1. Okay, we start from opening. Pronunciation is one area of foreign language teaching. That's what Catley said. At first, the language teacher Shaw studied grammar and vocabulary longer than pronunciation. Before the beginning of the 20th century to be studied about that. Only a short time than the modern era or of modern language. There are two general approaches to the reading of pronunciation as developed is 1. Intuitive, imitative approach, and the second, analytic linguistic approaches with various methods which some used to make easy pronunciation teaching, such as grammar translation and reading based on approaches. We move to the direct method and more recent naturalistic approach. Direct method in teaching a language is directly establishing an immediate and audiovisual association between experience and expressions. Word and phrase, idioms and meanings, rule and performance. Direct method, sometimes called the natural method. It was established in England around 1900 and contrasts with the grammar translation method and other traditional approaches. The reform movement. International phonetic the reforms broke about in language teaching at the end of the 19th century were for the purpose of improving language teaching. The primary desire was not to throw away what had been done before. Rather, the goal was to further help in the improvement of language. International phonetic associations found in 1800 by phoneticians such as Henry Sweet, Wilhelm Ritter, and Paul Vasari. IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet, was developed to describe and analyze the sound systems of language. Next to the 1940 century and 1950 century. Audilinguism in the United States and of the oral approach in Britain during 1940 century dan 1950 century. Audilinguism is a method for foreign language teaching, which is emphasize the teaching of listening, speaking before reading and writing. The oral approach is based on a structural view of language. The teacher often uses a technique derived from the notion of contrast in structural linguistics, the minimal fair drills that we use words that differ by a single sound in the same position. Example, sheep and ship. Sheep, domba dan kapal. Types of animal training. There are two. The first is word drills, sheep and ship. Okay. Domba dan kapal. Sentence drills. Syntagmatic drills contract within a sentence. Example, don't sit in that seat. Jangan duduk di tempat duduk. Don't sit in that seat. It is the example from syntagmatic drills. And the second is paradigmatic drills. Contrast across two sentences. Don't sleep on the floor. Don't sleep on the floor. The first sentence, don't sleep on the floor, it's wet. And the second is, don't sleep on the floor. Okay. Next to the 1960 century. In the 1960 century, influenced by transformation, generative grammar, and cognitive psychology, view language as role govern behavior rather than habit formation. The key word is pronunciation in favor of grammar and vocabulary. The 1970 century. The methods that come to attention during the 1970 century, such as the silent way and community language learning. It's continue to exhibit interesting difference in the way they deal with pronunciation. Silent way can be characterized by the attention paid to accuracy of production about the sound and structure of the target language from the immediate state of instruction. Silent way is focused on the sound system without having to learn a phonetic alphabet or a body explicit linguistic information. In English, silent way include a sound color chart that represent the vowel and consonant sound of the language. A color-coded fader chart that indicate the possible spelling of each phoneme. 12 color coded word chart, colored rod called questionnaire rod, and pointer used by the teacher to point to the sound or word on the chart. The silent way is better understood if the sound or word on the chart. The silent way is better understood if experiences rather than read about, since any description fails to capture actual learner engagement. The method appears to have a special focus on teaching pronunciation. And many language educators agree that the principle of sound color correspondent community language learning is a language teaching approach in which students work together to develop what aspect of a language they would like to learn. The community language learning emphasizes the sense of community in the learning group, encourage interaction as vehicle for learning, and considers as a priority the student's feeling and the recognition of struggle in language acquisition. This technique is called human computer. Analysis, pronunciation teaching today. Communication language teaching, or CLT, is called the communicative approach. This focus on language as communication brings refute urgency to the teaching of pronunciation. Science, both empirical and anecdote, and then indicate that there is a threshold level of pronunciation for non-native indicate that non-native speaker of English. In teach pronunciation, the following is a fairly comprehensive list. First, listen and imitate, and the second is phonetic training, and the third, minimal fair drills, and the fourth, contextualize minimal fairs, and the fifth, visual aids, and the sixth, tongue twister and development approximation drills, practice of vowel shift and stress shift. And 9, reading about recitation. And last is recording of learner's pronunciation. That is summary from chapter 1, talking about teaching pronunciation in chapter 1. I do hope if I have mistake, I'm so sorry so much, because as you know that there is nobody perfect in this world. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.